News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Congratulations are in order for the Missoula County Attorney's Office. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning for Thursday, August 18th, 2016. Going to be another beautiful day in western Montana, at least for a while, before the system begins to move through. Clear, beautiful morning. We have 59 degrees under a clear sky. We do have a wind advisory that starts at 4 this afternoon and continues until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Bring it with it. Rain, thunderstorms, all sorts of good stuff. So, and of course, much cooler temperatures in the next day or so. Again, it's 59 degrees in Missoula right now. Our newscast sponsored by the Bitterroot Tour of Homes coming up this weekend. For ticket information, check out bitterrootbia.com. This morning's top story, or one of them, Attorney General Tim Fox was in Missoula yesterday to congratulate Missoula County Attorney Kirsten Pabst and her office for being in full compliance with a 2014 agreement regarding sexual assault prosecutions.
I have to commend Kirsten Pabst and the County Attorney's Office and her staff working with my staff to achieve significant goals and certainly to make sure that they had adhered to the requirements of the Memorandum of Understanding that we signed in June of 2014.
Fox said Pabst spent additional time and resources in coming into compliance with the agreement.
They've really owned it to make sure that they're doing the best for their community, to make sure folks are safe, that victims' rights are respected, that they get policies and procedures in place and training and personnel that really has changed the face of how they deal with sexual assault crimes in Missoula County.
Pabst said her response to the agreement would be totally different from the confrontational style put forth by the previous county attorney, Fred Van Valkenburg.
We stepped up together and decided that we were going to put aside the bickering and the fighting and whose fault is it, who has jurisdiction, and just say, where do we need to go from here? What can we do together to make this process better for victims of sexual violence?
One of the aspects of the new system that Pabst and her staff have implemented is a victims survey that asks those who have been through the system how the county attorney's office has performed. And 100%, she said, have been positive.
We can't necessarily control the outcomes, but what we can control is the process, and we can make the process more meaningful and hopefully encourage more participation and get more convictions, because ultimately, really what it's all about is enhancing community safety.
Fox, seated with Pabst in her conference room yesterday, said the completion of the formal agreement entered into over 2 years ago is just the beginning in the effort to bring justice to victims of sexual assault. Our other top story this morning: an apartment fire yesterday brought 5 cooperating fire departments, 39 firefighters, and 11 pieces of apparatus to Farm Lane in Lolo. Missoula Rural Fire Chief Bill Caldwell said the call came into 911 just before 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Apparently as a barbecue fire, and the first engines arrived to find heavy smoke showing from the north end and from the eaves of the building. There was active fire burning in the eaves and attic space of the 12-unit apartment complex. A hole was cut on the roof, and the aerial unit put water through the hole to stop the fire from extending further south through the complex. 9 of the 12 apartments were damaged by fire and water from the incident. Caldwell said no residents or firefighting personnel were injured, and all the residents were either staying with family or friends or are being housed by the Red Cross. A full investigation is underway by Missoula Rural Fire and by the Missoula County Sheriff's Office. Missoula police investigated multiple burglary cases yesterday. Make that Tuesday. Public Information Officer Travis Welsh has more.
Well, earlier we had taken a report from a resident in the 1700 block of Arlington that his garage had been entered and missing were various power tools. There was a neighbor who had video surveillance that showed a male and female suspect, an image of a vehicle that they were driving at the time.
Officers discovered a vehicle matching that description and a male and a female occupants parked in a parking lot.
They were able to see items that were known taken in this previous burglary inside the car, and they identified a male and a female occupant. They were eventually arrested. They are 21-year-old Tiffany Johnson and 34-year-old Keith Shin, and they were arrested in connection with this original burglary.
Earlier that same day, officers responded to a report of a male breaking out windows at a storefront.
By the time they had encountered 31-year-old Jacob Birdsley, he had grabbed an item off of a display shelf inside the business through one of the broken broken windows, pulled it outside, and then dropped it on the ground and caused it to break as well.
According to Welsh, these crimes may or may not be related to the car thefts reported earlier in the week. Montana State University has announced that 2 professors have been awarded a $5.7 million grant from the Charles Cook Foundation that could be used to create a research center. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports economics professors Vince Smith and Wendy Stock plan for the center to focus on impacts of government policies and regulations on society. Stock says MSU will ask the Montana Board of Regents for approval of the facility. Other plans for the 5-year grant include the creation of 2 new faculty jobs, fellowships, grants, and research assistant positions. The multi-million-dollar gift comes from Republican donor Charles Cook, who is known for supporting limited government and lower taxes. Stock says the goal for their research is to be objective and unbiased. Last Saturday, the Lolo Hotshot crew suffered the loss of one of their own when 26-year-old Justin Beebe died while combating the strawberry fire in Nevada, as we originally reported. Public Information Officer Ann Rice-Sikora said the cause of death has now been officially determined.
He was a sawyer with the Lolo Hotshot crew, and he was sawing a tree, and the top of the tree broke out while the sawing was taking place. The top of the tree hit him, and he died immediately upon impact. This is a trying experience to have a coworker die in front of you. There are many people who were standing right there and saw it. There were people who tried to do CPR, and to no avail.
The rest of the Lolo Hotshots returned home Sunday, and a memorial service will be held in Beebe's honors this Saturday. Beebe's family's from Bellows Falls, Vermont, but they decided to have the memorial service here in Missoula, or in Lolo rather, where their son made his home.
There'll be a service this week on the 20th. To celebrate and have a memorial for him. It's to take place at 11 o'clock at Osprey Park, Ogden Park at Alliance Field, and it's open to the public. Folks who are firefighters will be wearing their uniforms.
Again, that it will be in Missoula at Ogden Park, Allegiance Field. Beebe is the only National Forest Service firefighter to die in the line of duty so far this year. A memorial fund has been set up in Beebe's name. And a Condon area woman, Kaylee Charlton, appeared in Missoula Justice Court yesterday, charged with felony burglary and assault on a peace officer after allegedly breaking into a photography store in Condon. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Andrew Paul has more.
She's been charged with burglary, assault on a peace officer, and carrying a concealed weapon. Early in the morning on the 15th, business owner walked into his shop and found a woman inside who had thrown various items off the walls and off the counters and had been in the safe.
Paul explained why he asked for $10,000 bail.
The bail recommendation is for $10,000. She has no criminal history except for just minimal criminal history, and I don't believe she's a flight risk at this time.
Court documents also indicate that Charlton was impaired from using methamphetamine. She allegedly spat at and injured one of the deputies. Judge Marie Anderson set bail at $5,000. Charlton posted bond. Our News Talk time, 6:13.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Partly cloudy skies today with scattered showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. Winds will increase with wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Showers and storms this evening. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.